In our fast-paced, unpredictable world, staying calm and positive can feel like a superpower. Life throws challenges at us, some expected, many not, and yet how we respond to those moments defines the quality of our lives far more than the events themselves. Staying calm doesn't mean ignoring problems or pretending they don't exist. It means managing your inner world so you can face outer chaos with clarity. Staying positive doesn't mean you're always smiling or never sad. It means choosing hope over despair, solutions over problems, and peace over panic. When you're calm, you think clearly. When you're positive, you act wisely. And when you combine the two, you create a life that is resilient, focused, and joyful, even in the face of storms. Breathing is something we all do automatically, without a second thought. However, how we breathe has a profound impact on our mental and emotional state. When we're stressed, anxious, or overwhelmed, our breathing becomes shallow and fast, often without us even realizing it. This kind of breathing signals the brain that there is danger, which triggers the fight or flight response. It becomes a vicious cycle. Stress leads to poor breathing, which increases stress even further. Deep breathing is the opposite. It's deliberate, controlled, and slow. When we breathe deeply, especially using the diaphragm, it activates the parasympathetic nervous system. This is the body's natural relaxation response. It tells the brain, I am safe, there is no immediate threat. As a result, our heart rate slows, our muscles relax, and our mind begins to clear. It's a powerful tool for regaining control in moments of chaos. One of the simplest and most effective techniques is the 4-7-8 breathing method. You inhale through your nose for a count of 4, hold that breath for a count of 7, and then exhale slowly through your mouth for a count of 8. This technique, when practiced regularly, not only calms the mind but also helps you fall asleep faster, reduce blood pressure, and improve focus throughout the day. Another effective method is box breathing, often used by Navy SEALs and athletes to stay composed under pressure. You inhale for 4 counts, hold for 4, exhale for 4, and hold again for 4. This technique helps stabilize the body's oxygen and CO levels, balances the nervous system, and centers the mind. It's particularly helpful when you're facing a stressful meeting, interview, or presentation. What's fascinating about deep breathing is that it requires no special equipment, no environment, and no external help. You can do it anywhere, whether you're stuck in traffic, standing in line, or lying awake in bed. It's a self-regulation tool that's always with you, ready to be used in the moments you need it most. Breathing also creates a pause, a gap between a stressful stimulus and your reaction to it. In that space there's power, the power to choose a calm response over a reactive one, the power to ground yourself before you speak, decide, or act. Even just 3 deep breaths in a tense moment can shift your state from panic to presence. It's also important to recognize that most people never learn how to breathe properly. Many adults chest, breathe, which limits oxygen intake and leads to fatigue and anxiety. Deep breathing, on the other hand, engages the diaphragm, expanding the lungs fully. This increases oxygen flow to the brain, enhances cognitive function, and stabilizes mood. Practicing this consistently leads to long-term emotional resilience. You can even combine deep breathing with visualization. As you inhale, imagine calm, healing energy entering your body. As you exhale, picture tension, stress, and negativity leaving you. This mental imagery enhances the relaxation response and trains your mind to associate breathing with release and renewal. Meditation and mindfulness practices often start with breath awareness for a reason. The breath is the anchor. When your thoughts are racing and your emotions feel like a storm, Your breath becomes the rope you can hold on to. By simply observing your breath without changing it, you cultivate awareness, which is the first step toward emotional control. Regular breath work has also been linked to physical benefits beyond stress reduction. It improves lung function, supports cardiovascular health, and even strengthens the immune system. Athletes, performers, and public speakers use breath control to manage performance anxiety, maintain stamina, and enhance endurance under pressure. In emotionally intense moments, like conflict, grief, or fear, your breath can be the difference between saying something you regret and staying composed. In these moments, remember, the body hears everything the mind says, and the breath is the bridge between the two. Slow your breath and you slow your reaction. Calm your breath and you calm your spirit. Most importantly, make deep breathing a daily habit, not just an emergency tool. Set aside just 5 minutes in the morning to practice. Over time, your body will remember this state of calm, making it easier to return to during stress. The more you train yourself to breathe deeply and intentionally, the more natural it becomes to stay calm, collected, and in control, no matter what life throws your way. In today's hyper-connected world, we are constantly bombarded with information. From breaking news alerts to endless social media updates, the digital noise never truly stops. While staying informed is important, not all information is beneficial to our mental well-being. Much of what we consume daily is negative, sensationalized, or emotionally draining. When we allow this steady stream of negativity to enter our minds unchecked, it subtly shapes our thoughts, emotions, and even our worldview. Our brain is highly impressionable. The more negativity we absorb, the more we begin to see the world through a negative lens. We become more anxious, cynical, or emotionally reactive. Just as eating unhealthy food affects your body, consuming negative content affects your mind. And because many of these inputs are disguised as normal, such as casual gossip, disturbing news headlines, or toxic conversations, we often don't realize the damage until it's already taken root. One of the main culprits of negative input is the 24/7 news cycle. Many news outlets rely on fear-driven content to capture attention. Headlines are designed to provoke emotional reactions, often focusing on crime, conflict, disasters, and scandal. While it's crucial to be aware of what's happening in the world, constant exposure to alarming content can lead to chronic stress, helplessness, and mental fatigue. Studies have shown that people who consume excessive news are more likely to report symptoms of anxiety and depression. Social media is another major source of negativity. At first glance, it seems like a harmless way to stay connected, but scroll long enough, and you'll encounter a cocktail of comparison, outrage, and misinformation. You see someone else's highlight reel and begin to feel inadequate. You stumble across heated arguments or political rants, and suddenly your mood shifts. You read about a tragedy miles away, and now you're emotionally burdened by something you have no control over. It's important to realize that not all social media is bad, but your experience of it is shaped by what and whom you follow. If your feed is full of negativity, it's time to take control. Unfollow accounts that spread fear, hate, or constant complaining. Mute or block people who drain your energy. Follow those who uplift, inspire, educate, or make you feel grounded and hopeful. Your digital environment should reflect the emotional state you want to cultivate. Negativity doesn't just come through screens. It also exists in everyday conversations and environments. Being around people who constantly gossip, complain, or criticize can affect your energy in subtle but powerful ways. Over time, their mindset can influence yours. You might find yourself becoming more judgmental, more pessimistic, or more easily irritated, without understanding why. That's why it's important to protect your emotional boundaries, even with people you care about. Setting boundaries doesn't mean cutting people off completely. It means being intentional about how much time you spend with them and what kind of energy you allow into your space. You can shift the conversation, change the topic, or even step away if needed. Protecting your peace is not selfish. It's necessary for your emotional survival. Just like you wouldn't allow someone to dump garbage in your living room, you shouldn't allow others to dump negativity into your mind. Curating your mental diet is just as important as curating your physical diet. Imagine waking up and immediately consuming junk food every morning. Your body would feel sluggish and unhealthy. Now, think about how many people wake up and immediately check their phones, only to be hit with negativity before they've even gotten out of bed. The first inputs of your day often set the tone for the rest of it. Choose wisely. Start your day with something uplifting, a book, calming music, gratitude, or silence. Even entertainment can have an effect. What kind of shows are you watching? What kind of music are you listening to? What themes are being repeated? If you're constantly surrounded by chaos, violence, heartbreak, or anger, even in fiction, your subconscious absorbs that atmosphere. It doesn't mean you can't enjoy drama or thrillers, but balance them with content that also brings joy, laughter, and hope. Diversify your emotional intake. Digital detoxes can also be powerful. Take intentional breaks from screens, especially when you feel mentally drained. Try spending a day, or even just an afternoon, without your phone, news, or social media. Reconnect with nature, read a physical book, journal your thoughts, or simply sit in stillness. These moments of disconnection often become the most peaceful and rejuvenating. Creating a positive mental environment is not about ignoring reality. It's about choosing to filter what you expose your mind to. Just like you wouldn't drink dirty water, you shouldn't consume toxic information. You can still be informed, compassionate, and aware, without allowing every piece of negativity to take root inside you. Remember, your peace of mind is priceless. You have the power to decide what enters your mental space. By limiting negative input, you make room for clarity, calm, and true positivity to grow. You become more grounded, more hopeful, and better equipped to handle life with a balanced heart and mind. Living in the present moment may sound simple, but it is one of the most challenging and transformative habits we can develop. In our daily lives, our minds are constantly racing, replaying past regrets, or anxiously anticipating the future. This mental habit pulls us away from what's real and right in front of us, the present moment. The only moment we can actually experience and influence is now, yet we spend much of our mental energy anywhere but here. The human mind has a tendency to wander. We replay conversations, rethink decisions, or worry about situations that haven't even happened. While this ability to reflect and imagine is part of what makes us human, it also becomes a source of suffering when left unchecked. When we dwell too long in the past, we often invite guilt, sadness, or nostalgia. When we fixate on the future, we feed anxiety, fear, and uncertainty. Neither place provides peace. Only the present does. Being present means fully engaging with the moment you are in. It's feeling the water on your skin while you wash your hands. It's tasting your food rather than rushing through your meal. It's listening with your whole heart when someone is speaking, instead of formulating your next response or glancing at your phone. These small acts of attention transform ordinary moments into meaningful ones. They connect you to life rather than letting it slip by unnoticed. Mindfulness is the practice that helps us return to the present. It's not about emptying your mind or becoming emotionless. It's about noticing where your attention is and gently bringing it back to the now. This simple shift, repeating it over, and overtrains your brain to stop reacting automatically and start living intentionally. Over time, mindfulness rewires the brain for calm, clarity, and emotional balance. One of the most accessible ways to practice mindfulness is through your senses. What can you see, hear, smell, taste, or feel right now? These anchors bring your awareness into your body, grounding you in the here and now. For example, while walking, notice the sensation of your feet touching the ground, the rhythm of your breath, or the warmth of sunlight on your skin. These small observations create stillness and presence in your mind. Another practice that supports present, moment living is gratitude. Often, we miss the blessings of today because we are focused on what went wrong yesterday or what might go wrong tomorrow. Gratitude interrupts this pattern. When you take a moment to appreciate what you have right now, a warm meal, a peaceful moment, the sound of laughter, you bring yourself back to the richness of the present. Gratitude shifts the focus from what's missing to what's meaningful. Technology, while incredibly useful, often distracts us from the moment. We scroll while eating, we check notifications during conversations, and we multitask constantly. This fractured attention keeps us from experiencing life fully. Try putting your phone away during meals, silencing notifications for a few hours, or setting aside time each day to unplug. Creating intentional boundaries with technology allows space for more presence and less mental clutter. It's also helpful to recognize that the present moment is the only place where action is possible. You cannot change the past, and you cannot control the future, but you can make choices right now. You can speak kindly, breathe deeply, focus your attention, or take one small step forward. This gives you power and peace. Living in the present doesn't mean ignoring consequences or forgetting responsibilities. It means responding to life as it unfolds, rather than reacting to it based on fear or regret. Even our emotional experiences are rooted in presence. When you feel anger, sadness, or joy, let yourself experience it fully in the now. Don't suppress it or overanalyze it. Just allow it, observe it, and breathe through it. Emotions, when accepted and acknowledged in the present, move through us more quickly. It's only when we resist or attach to them that they linger and grow stronger than necessary. Living in the present also deepens relationships. When you are truly present with someone, they feel seen and valued. You listen more attentively, respond more thoughtfully, and connect more authentically. In a world filled with distraction, presence is one of the greatest gifts you can give to others and to yourself. It creates intimacy, trust, and genuine understanding. Spending time in nature can also help reconnect you to the moment. Nature doesn't rush. Trees don't worry about tomorrow. Birds don't regret yesterday. They exist fully in the present, and by observing them, we are reminded of our natural state of calm. A walk in the park, a moment watching the clouds, or simply sitting in silence outdoors can ground your awareness and soothe your mind. Ultimately, living in the present is not a one-time decision. It's a daily, moment-to-moment practice. You won't always get it right. Your mind will wander and life will distract you. But every time you bring your attention back, whether through breath, gratitude, or awareness, you strengthen your ability to live calmly and positively. The more present you are, the more peaceful your life becomes. A daily routine is more than just a schedule. It is a powerful structure that brings order, purpose, and calm to our lives. When we establish consistent habits and rituals, we reduce decision fatigue, decrease mental clutter, and create a sense of predictability in an often unpredictable world. A routine doesn't have to be rigid to be effective. It simply needs to support your priorities and provide a framework for stability. The human brain thrives on patterns. When you follow a routine, your brain becomes familiar with what to expect, allowing it to conserve energy and focus more deeply. In contrast, a chaotic, unstructured day requires constant choices and adjustments, which can lead to stress and overwhelm. The more predictable your day is, the less room there is for confusion and anxiety. A routine can act like an emotional anchor, especially when life around you feels uncertain. Starting the day with a morning routine can set the tone for everything that follows. It doesn't have to be elaborate, just intentional, whether it's stretching, drinking a glass of water, meditating, journaling, or simply making your bed. Those first few actions shape your mindset. A calm and grounded morning often leads to a more focused and emotionally resilient day. It's your opportunity to begin from a place of control rather than chaos. Equally important is having a wind down or evening routine. Just as a morning ritual prepares you to face the day, an evening routine helps you release it. Activities like turning off screens an hour before bed, reading, light stretching, or reflecting on your day with gratitude can signal to your mind and body that it's time to rest. This not only improves sleep quality, but also reinforces a cycle of self-care and mindfulness. Routines are especially beneficial during stressful times. When life becomes turbulent due to a personal loss, job stress, or uncertainty, having a daily structure can offer a sense of normalcy. It keeps you grounded in familiar actions, allowing you to move forward even when your emotions are heavy. The act of continuing with simple routines like walking, cooking, or journaling becomes a quiet form of resilience. One of the overlooked benefits of routine is that it helps build momentum. When you consistently engage in small positive actions, you create a rhythm that reinforces discipline and self-trust. You begin to see yourself as someone who follows through, who takes care of themselves, and who shows up with intention. These small wins accumulate and build confidence over time. You realize you don't have to do everything at once. Just take one steady step at a time. Having a routine also makes room for what truly matters. Without structure, time tends to slip away. Hours are lost to distractions, indecision, or reactive living. With a routine, you become more intentional with your time. You make space for priorities, whether it's time with family, creative pursuits, physical health, or rest. You begin to live proactively rather than reactively, choosing how your day flows rather than being swept away by it. It's important to remember that routines should be designed, not imposed. What works for someone else may not work for you. Your routine should reflect your values, energy levels, and lifestyle. If you're not a morning person, your peak productivity time may be later in the day. If you're an introvert, you may need quiet time scheduled in between social activities. The best routine is one that serves you, not the one that looks best on paper. Flexibility is also key. Life will disrupt even the best routines from time to time. That's okay. The goal is not perfection, but consistency. A strong routine allows for adjustments without unraveling your entire day. For example, if you oversleep and miss your workout, your routine should be able to absorb that change without throwing you into guilt or panic. It's about rhythm, not rigidity. Incorporating moments of stillness and reflection into your routine is essential for emotional balance. We often fill our schedules with tasks and forget to leave space for simply being. Whether it's 5 minutes of quiet breathing, a walk without distractions, or just sitting in silence with a cup of tea, these pauses help us process emotions, recharge, and remain grounded in the present. Technology can support your routine but should not control it. Use apps and alarms as helpful tools, but avoid falling into the trap of overscheduling or overtracking every moment. Your routine should feel empowering, not burdensome. It's there to support your mental clarity and emotional stability, not to add pressure or make you feel like a machine. Ultimately, the structure of a routine gives freedom to your mind. It frees you from the constant burden of deciding what to do next. It provides a reliable rhythm that your mind and body can trust, and within that rhythm, you create the conditions for calm, clarity, and lasting positivity. The most successful and peaceful people don't stumble upon balance. They create it through intentional routines that support their well-being from the inside out. Gratitude is one of the most transformative and empowering emotional practices a person can develop. At its core, gratitude is the conscious act of recognizing and appreciating the good in your life. It doesn't require wealth, perfection, or ideal circumstances. It simply requires awareness. In a world that often emphasizes what's missing, gratitude shifts your focus to what's already present, offering a powerful antidote to negativity and dissatisfaction. Many people believe they'll feel grateful once their life improves, once they get a better job, a bigger house, or more recognition. But true gratitude doesn't wait for everything to be perfect. It grows when you begin to appreciate the little things, a hot meal, a safe place to sleep, a kind word, or even the ability to breathe and move. These moments may seem small, but they form the foundation of a peaceful, fulfilling life. The science of gratitude is equally compelling. Studies have shown that people who regularly practice gratitude report better mental health, improved sleep, stronger relationships, and greater overall life satisfaction. Gratitude activates areas of the brain associated with dopamine and serotonin, in the chemicals responsible for feelings of happiness and well-being. In essence, the more you practice gratitude, the more your brain becomes wired to find joy and contentment. One of the most effective ways to cultivate gratitude is by keeping a journal. This doesn't need to be lengthy or complicated. Simply writing down 3 things you're grateful for each day, no matter how big or small, can significantly improve your mood and perspective over time. Some days your list might include major events, like a promotion or a family celebration. Other days it might be as simple as having clean water, a warm shower, or a friend who checked in on you. Gratitude also helps shift your mindset during challenging times. When life feels overwhelming or painful, it's easy to spiral into frustration or despair. But even in the darkest moments, there are still things to be thankful for: support from loved ones, lessons learned, or the strength to keep going. Practicing gratitude in difficulty doesn't mean denying your pain. It means choosing not to be consumed by it. It reminds you that life, even in struggle, contains gifts. Expressing gratitude to others is equally powerful. When you take the time to thank someone sincerely for their kindness, time, support, or presence, you deepen the connection and foster mutual respect. People often go through life unnoticed or unappreciated. Your words of gratitude can brighten their day, boost their confidence, and inspire more acts of kindness. Gratitude is contagious. When you express it, you inspire it in others. It's important to note that gratitude and complacency are not the same. Practicing gratitude doesn't mean settling for less or ignoring your goals. It means appreciating the journey, the progress, and the resources you already have while continuing to grow. It's a mindset of abundance, not lack. When you focus on what's working, you're more likely to feel energized and optimistic about what's next, rather than weighed down by what's missing. Gratitude also reduces envy, comparison, and entitlement, common emotional traps in modern life. When you compare your life to others, you often focus on their highlights and your flaws. This fuels resentment and inadequacy. Gratitude, however, shifts your attention back to your own blessings. You begin to realize that your journey is unique, and that joy can exist without needing to measure up to someone else's standards. Another beautiful aspect of gratitude is how it brings you into the present. Instead of reliving regrets or fearing the future, gratitude anchors you in the now. It invites you to notice what's beautiful about this moment, the way the light hits your window, the laughter of a child, the taste of your favorite tea. Gratitude quiets the mental noise and opens your eyes to the richness of everyday life, which is often overlooked in the rush of routine. Creating rituals of gratitude can help integrate it more deeply into your life. For example, you might say one thing you're thankful for before every meal, share moments of gratitude with your family at the end of the day, or mentally list 3 things you're grateful for while brushing your teeth. These simple practices turn gratitude into a habit, rather than a fleeting emotion, and allow it to become part of your emotional identity. Spiritual and philosophical traditions around the world emphasize gratitude as a core virtue. Whether through prayers of thanks, meditations on blessings, or cultural customs of appreciation, gratitude has been honored for centuries as a path to inner peace and humility. By acknowledging that much of what we enjoy is not solely our doing, that it comes from others, from nature, or from forces beyond our control, we cultivate a deep sense of interconnectedness and respect. Ultimately, gratitude is a way of seeing. It doesn't change your circumstances. It changes you. It allows you to meet life with open eyes and an open heart. In the presence of gratitude, fear loses its grip, stress loses its weight, and life begins to feel more spacious, more generous, and more beautiful. Every day offers something to be grateful for, and when you train your mind to see it, calm and positivity become not just possible, but natural. The people, media, environments, and thoughts we surround ourselves with profoundly shape our mood, mindset, and overall emotional well-being. If we are constantly exposed to negativity, whether through toxic relationships, endless bad news, or pessimistic self-talk, it becomes difficult to stay calm and positive. Limiting negative influences is not about being in denial or ignoring problems. It's about protecting your peace and making room for clarity, growth, and emotional strength. One of the most significant sources of negativity in modern life is the media. The news cycle is often dominated by conflict, crisis, and fear because these stories get the most attention. While staying informed is important, constant exposure to distressing headlines can lead to emotional exhaustion, anxiety, and a distorted view of the world. It's essential to be selective about what you consume, set boundaries around how often you check the news, and choose sources that offer balanced, solution-focused perspectives. Social media can also be a double-edged sword. While it allows us to connect and share, it often amplifies comparison, judgment, and false realities. Scrolling through curated highlights of other people's lives can leave you feeling inadequate or behind. It's easy to forget that most of what you see is edited and incomplete. To limit negative influence, consider unfollowing accounts that trigger stress, envy, or self-doubt, and replace them with content that inspires, educates, or uplifts you. Toxic relationships are another powerful source of negativity. If you regularly interact with people who belittle, manipulate, criticize, or drain your energy, their behavior will slowly impact your mental state. It's important to set healthy boundaries with such individuals and, in some cases, distance yourself entirely. This doesn't mean cutting people off impulsively, but rather protecting your emotional space and choosing to prioritize relationships that are respectful, kind, and mutually supportive. Sometimes the most persistent source of negativity is not external, but internal. Negative self-talk, unprocessed trauma, or limiting beliefs can sabotage your peace more than anything else. Pay attention to the thoughts that run through your mind throughout the day. Are they compassionate or critical, empowering or defeating? The way you speak to yourself matters. Challenge harmful inner narratives and replace them with realistic but affirming truths. Environmental factors also play a subtle yet powerful role. A cluttered, chaotic, or noisy environment can increase feelings of stress and irritability. On the other hand, clean, organized, and calm spaces promote focus and emotional ease. Make your living and working spaces reflect the kind of peace you want to feel. Even small changes, like decluttering your desk, lighting a candle, or adding a plant, can shift the emotional tone of your surroundings. Entertainment choices contribute to your mental landscape as well. If your evenings are filled with violent, cynical, or emotionally draining shows, books, or music, your mind absorbs that energy. While there's nothing wrong with indulging in heavy content occasionally, it's important to balance it with material that nourishes your spirit. Choose uplifting stories, calming music, inspiring documentaries, or humor that lightens your heart. Your media diet shapes your emotional state just as much as your food diet shapes your body. Another form of negativity comes from constant complaining and gossip. Being around people who always focus on what's wrong, criticize others, or stir up drama creates a culture of dissatisfaction and distrust. If you notice yourself engaging in these patterns, pause and reflect. Complaining can sometimes be a cry for help, but if it becomes habitual, it steals your peace and productivity. Practice shifting the conversation to solutions or gratitude instead. Limiting negative influences also means being intentional about the time you give away. Not every invitation, request, or opportunity aligns with your values or emotional health. If certain commitments consistently leave you drained, overwhelmed, or resentful, it may be time to reassess. Saying no is a skill that protects your time and energy for what truly matters. Learning to prioritize your peace is not selfish. It's essential for long-term well-being. Sleep deprivation and poor nutrition, though often overlooked, can also amplify negativity. When you're tired, hungry, or depleted, you are more sensitive to stress and less resilient to challenges. This makes it easier for external negativity to affect you. By caring for your physical body through rest, hydration, and nourishing food, you naturally build a stronger foundation for emotional balance and resistance to toxic influences. Limiting negativity doesn't mean avoiding reality or living in a bubble. Life includes pain, injustice, and difficulty, but constantly immersing yourself in everything that's wrong doesn't help you become more compassionate or effective. It just leaves you exhausted. Instead, choose conscious engagement. Know what's happening. Take meaningful action where you can, but also know when to step back and recharge. Protecting your peace enables you to show up with more clarity and purpose. Ultimately, removing or minimizing negative influences is about creating space for what lifts you up. You can't fill your life with peace, purpose, and positivity if it's already full of noise, conflict, and distraction. As you let go of what dims your light, you make more room for what strengthens it. And in doing so, you gain a calmer mind, a lighter heart, and a life that feels more aligned with who you truly are. In a world filled with distractions, worries, and future-focused ambitions, staying rooted in the present moment is one of the most powerful ways to remain calm and positive. The present is the only time where life truly happens, yet it is often the place we spend the least amount of time. Most of our stress, anxiety, and discontent come not from what's happening now, but from thoughts about what has happened or might happen. By learning to focus on the present, we regain control over our thoughts, reactions, and emotional state. When your mind is scattered, thinking about an unfinished task, replaying a conversation, or fearing an uncertain future, your body reacts as though the threat is happening now. This constant mental noise activates the stress response, keeping you in a state of tension. By contrast, when you ground yourself in the now, your nervous system begins to relax. You're no longer fighting invisible battles in your head, you're simply being. Focusing on the present moment doesn't mean ignoring your responsibilities or goals. Rather, it means giving your full attention to the task or experience at hand. Whether you're drinking tea, walking to work, or talking to a loved one, being truly present allows you to experience life more fully. It's not what you do, but how deeply you engage with what you do, that shapes your peace and satisfaction. One simple but effective way to return to the present is by using your senses. Look around. What do you see, hear, smell, or feel right now? This grounds your awareness in the current moment and helps interrupt looping thoughts. If you're feeling overwhelmed, take a few minutes to close your eyes and focus only on your breath. This gentle attention to your inhale and exhale can anchor you and bring instant calm. Practicing mindfulness is another powerful tool for cultivating presence. Mindfulness is the practice of noticing your thoughts and feelings without judgment and gently bringing your attention back when it drifts. It's not about stopping thoughts. It's about not getting lost in them. Over time, mindfulness helps you respond to life with clarity rather than react with fear or frustration. You become more aware of how your mind works and more skilled at choosing peace over panic. Technology has made it especially difficult to live in the present. With constant notifications, endless scrolling, and digital noise, we're often pulled away from what's right in front of us. Checking your phone during conversations, eating meals distractedly, or multitasking through your day can rob you of connection and joy. To be more present, consider taking regular breaks from screens and committing to doing one thing at a time with full attention. Living in the present also allows you to connect more deeply with others. When you're not distracted by your own worries or devices, you can listen more fully, observe more clearly, and empathize more genuinely. People feel seen and heard in your presence, and relationships flourish as a result. Being present is one of the greatest gifts you can give, not just to yourself, but to everyone around you. Another benefit of staying in the present is that it reduces regret and worry, two emotions that often steal our peace. Regret pulls you into the past, making you dwell on mistakes and what-ifs. Worry propels you into the future, making you fear what hasn't happened. Neither mindset changes your current reality, but both drain your energy. When you stay focused on what's happening now, you respond with greater wisdom and calm. You realize that this moment right here is manageable, even if the whole picture isn't. You can also use daily routines to support present moment awareness. For example, turning simple tasks into mindful rituals, like making your bed, washing dishes, or going for a walk, can ground you in now. Instead of rushing through these activities, slow down and pay attention. Notice how your body moves, what your senses register, and how you feel emotionally. This cultivates a deeper connection to the life you're already living. Nature is one of the greatest teachers of presence. When you're walking in a forest, listening to birds, or watching waves roll onto a shore, you naturally quiet your mind. Nature operates in rhythms, not rush. It invites you to slow down and remember that life doesn't need to be hurried to be meaningful. Spending even a few minutes a day outside can help you reconnect with the present and put things back into perspective. Being present doesn't mean life will always feel easy or joyful. Sometimes the present moment brings pain, grief, or confusion, but even then, staying present can offer solace. It allows you to experience your emotions fully without exaggeration or resistance. Pain becomes more bearable when you don't layer it with additional fear or mental commentary. You accept what is, and from that place of acceptance, healing begins. Ultimately, focusing on the present is not a destination, it's a practice. You will drift away, and that's okay. The goal is to keep coming back, again and again, with kindness and curiosity. The more you practice, the more natural it becomes. In the present, you find peace. In the present, you remember your strength, and in the present, you live the only moment that truly exists, now. Life is full of challenges, both big and small. Whether it's dealing with unexpected loss, overwhelming responsibilities, emotional setbacks, or internal struggles, how we respond to stress makes a huge difference in our overall mental and emotional health. Developing healthy coping mechanisms is essential not only to survive tough times, but to thrive in the face of them. These coping strategies help you process emotions constructively, regain balance, and maintain a calm and positive outlook, even when life doesn't go according to plan. Coping mechanisms are the behaviors, thoughts, or routines we use to manage stress, pain, or discomfort. Everyone has them, whether they're conscious of them or not. Some coping strategies, like exercise or journaling, are beneficial and promote healing. Others, like overeating, withdrawing, or substance use, may offer temporary relief but create deeper problems over time. Developing healthy mechanisms requires self-awareness, discipline, and sometimes a bit of trial and error. One of the most powerful healthy coping skills is physical movement. Exercise doesn't just benefit your body, it transforms your brain chemistry. When you move your body, whether through walking, dancing, yoga, or sports, you release endorphins that reduce stress and elevate your mood. Physical activity also offers a sense of accomplishment and provides a natural outlet for frustration and anxiety. Even just a few minutes a day can make a measurable difference in your emotional state. Creative expression is another underrated but incredibly effective way to cope. Writing, painting, playing music, or even cooking can allow you to process and release emotions that are hard to express verbally. Creativity taps into a part of the brain that fosters flow, presence, and emotional clarity. These activities are not about perfection or productivity. They are about expression and release. Giving your inner world an outer form can be healing in ways words alone cannot capture. Talking to someone you trust is another vital coping strategy. Holding everything inside magnifies the weight of stress, but sharing your thoughts with a compassionate listener can instantly lighten the load. Whether it's a friend, family member, mentor, or therapist, having someone who can validate your feelings and offer perspective helps you feel less alone and more supported. Sometimes, simply being heard is enough to start healing. Practicing deep breathing and mindfulness-based techniques can also help regulate your emotions during moments of acute stress. Slow, intentional breathing activates your parasympathetic nervous system, signaling your body to calm down. Techniques like diaphragmatic breathing, box breathing, or progressive muscle relaxation can be used anywhere, anytime. These simple but powerful tools train your body and mind to respond rather than react, creating space between stimulus and response. Journaling is another excellent tool for coping. Writing down your thoughts and feelings helps you organize them, gain insight, and reduce their emotional intensity. When emotions are bottled up, they can grow distorted and overwhelming. But when you write them down, you externalize them, making them easier to understand and manage. Journaling also allows you to track patterns in your thinking and behavior, which can lead to positive change over time. Sometimes healthy coping also means creating healthy boundaries. If certain people, places, or habits consistently stress you out, it's important to recognize that and take action. Boundaries are not walls, they are filters. They allow you to protect your peace without isolating yourself from others. Saying no, taking breaks, and prioritizing your own well-being are acts of self-respect. Setting boundaries is a powerful coping tool that helps prevent burnout and emotional exhaustion. Spiritual or philosophical practices can also serve as meaningful coping mechanisms. For some, this might mean prayer, meditation, or reading sacred texts. For others, it could involve philosophical reflection, connecting to nature, or engaging in rituals that provide a sense of purpose and continuity. These practices offer a broader perspective on life's challenges and help foster a sense of connection to something greater than oneself. Sleep and nutrition, though basic, are foundational coping supports. Chronic sleep deprivation and poor diet make it significantly harder to manage stress, think clearly, or regulate your emotions. When you're well rested and nourished, your brain functions better, your resilience improves, and you're better equipped to face challenges. Coping is not just about managing crises. It's about building a strong base so you're less easily thrown off balance in the first place. Healthy coping also includes knowing when to step back and reset. This could mean taking a digital detox, planning a weekend of rest, or simply allowing yourself to do nothing without guilt. Rest and recovery are not luxuries, they're necessities. Sometimes the most powerful thing you can do in the face of stress is to pause, breathe, and give yourself permission to slow down. Rest restores your emotional reserves and gives you the clarity to move forward with renewed energy. Ultimately, developing healthy coping mechanisms is an ongoing practice. It requires experimenting with different strategies, being honest with yourself, and making conscious choices that prioritize your mental health. The goal is not to eliminate all stress or emotion from life. That's impossible. The goal is to meet those emotions with tools that soothe, heal, and empower you. Over time, as you build this emotional toolkit, you begin to face life with greater calm, strength, and positivity. Self-compassion is the gentle, nurturing attitude we extend toward ourselves during moments of failure, pain, or difficulty. It means treating yourself with the same kindness, understanding, and patience that you would offer a close friend. For many people, especially those with high expectations or perfectionist tendencies, this concept can feel foreign. Yet it is a cornerstone of emotional well-being. When you practice self-compassion, you create a safe internal environment in which healing, growth, and peace can flourish. Most of us have an inner critic, a harsh voice that points out our flaws, mistakes, and shortcomings. This voice may be inherited from early experiences, social conditioning, or personal insecurity. While it often poses as motivation, it actually leads to shame, anxiety, and self-doubt. In contrast, self-compassion doesn't excuse wrongdoing or deny responsibility. It simply acknowledges our common humanity. Everyone struggles, makes mistakes, and has moments of weakness. You're not broken, you're human. One of the key components of self-compassion is mindful awareness of your suffering. It means recognizing your emotional pain as it arises without exaggerating it or pushing it away. Many people either ignore their discomfort or become overwhelmed by it. Self-compassion invites a third path. Acknowledge the pain, hold space for it, and offer yourself gentle care. This kind of presence is deeply soothing and prevents you from spiraling into self-blame. blame, or despair. Another core element is common humanity, understanding that you are not alone in your struggles. Pain often feels isolating. We believe that others have it all figured out while we're falling apart. But the truth is, suffering is part of the human experience. Everyone has bad days, makes regrettable choices, or feels insecure at times. Remembering this can lift the burden of isolation and help you connect to others through shared experience rather than competition or shame. The third pillar of self-compassion is kind self-talk. Instead of berating yourself for a mistake, imagine what you would say to someone you love in the same situation. Would you call them a failure or a disappointment? Likely not. You would probably say something supportive, reassuring, and realistic. That is the tone you must begin to use with yourself. Words have power, and the language you use internally can either build you up or tear you down. Practicing self-compassion also means allowing yourself to rest without guilt. In a productivity-driven world, rest is often viewed as laziness, but your worth is not defined by how much you produce or accomplish. You deserve rest simply because you are a living being with needs and limits. Listening to your body, honoring your emotions, and taking time to recharge are acts of self-respect. They restore balance and remind you that you are worthy of care, no matter what. Forgiveness is another vital part of self-compassion. Often, we hold ourselves to impossible standards and carry guilt for past actions, even after we've made amends or learned the lesson. True forgiveness doesn't mean forgetting. It means releasing the burden of self-punishment. It's saying, I did the best I could with what I knew at the time, and I'm learning to do better. Holding onto shame only delays growth. Forgiveness opens the door to transformation. Self-compassion also involves celebrating your progress, not just your perfection. It's easy to focus on how far you still have to go and overlook how far you've come. But recognizing small wins, incremental growth, and moments of resilience builds confidence and motivation. When you practice noticing and affirming your efforts, you create a habit of encouragement rather than criticism. This builds emotional safety and helps you move forward with greater courage. Learning to say no is another form of self-compassion. Many people overextend themselves because they're afraid of disappointing others or being seen as selfish. But constantly putting others' needs ahead of your own leads to burnout and resentment. Self-compassion teaches you that your needs matter too. Setting boundaries is not only healthy, it's essential. It shows that you respect yourself enough to protect your time, energy, and peace of mind. Being self-compassionate also means letting go of comparison. Social media, cultural expectations, and peer pressure can all make you feel like you're not good enough. But everyone is on a different journey, with different timelines, challenges, and strengths. When you stop measuring your worth against others, you free yourself from unnecessary pressure. Self-compassion allows you to define success in your own terms and to trust your unique path. Self-compassion is also crucial during moments of change or uncertainty. When you're stepping into the unknown, whether starting a new job, facing a breakup, or healing from loss, it's normal to feel vulnerable. In these moments, your inner dialogue matters more than ever. Instead of demanding instant strength or clarity, offer yourself gentleness. Say, it's okay to be scared. I'm doing the best I can. This attitude reduces fear and helps you move through change with steadiness and grace. Lastly, self-compassion helps you build a deeper, more accepting relationship with yourself. Instead of constantly striving to fix who you are, you begin to understand, appreciate, and support yourself. You become your own ally rather than your worst enemy. This inner friendship fosters peace, reduces emotional reactivity, and enhances resilience. You stop waiting for perfection and start loving yourself, exactly as you are in this moment. Setting goals is an important part of personal growth and motivation, but it's equally crucial to set realistic goals and expectations. Unrealistic expectations, whether of yourself, others, or life circumstances, often lead to frustration, disappointment, and a sense of failure. When goals are attainable and aligned with your current resources and capacities, you build confidence, experience success, and maintain a positive mindset that supports calm and resilience. Many people fall into the trap of perfectionism, setting impossibly high standards that are difficult or impossible to meet. This can create a cycle of chronic stress where nothing feels good enough. Instead of progress, you feel stuck or overwhelmed. By setting realistic goals, you give yourself permission to be human, acknowledging that growth is a process that takes time, patience, and adjustment. A helpful first step is to break large goals into smaller, manageable steps. Big goals can feel daunting and cause procrastination or anxiety, but when you divide them into bite-sized pieces, each step feels more achievable and less overwhelming. This approach not only reduces stress, but also creates regular opportunities to celebrate small wins, reinforcing your motivation and positive attitude. Another important consideration when setting goals is to align them with your values and priorities. Goals that resonate deeply with your sense of purpose or passion are more likely to sustain your commitment and enthusiasm. If a goal feels forced or imposed by others' expectations, it becomes a source of stress rather than fulfillment. Reflect on what matters most to you and let that guide your goal-setting process. Time frames are critical in realistic goal setting. It's important to set deadlines that are ambitious enough to motivate, but flexible enough to accommodate life's unpredictability. Rigid timelines can lead to unnecessary pressure, while open-ended goals risk losing focus. Striking a balance helps you stay motivated without burning out or feeling defeated by setbacks. Self-awareness plays a key role in knowing what is realistic. This means honestly assessing your strengths, weaknesses, current responsibilities, and available resources. Setting goals without this awareness can result in overcommitment and overwhelm. Regularly check in with yourself to adjust your goals as needed based on your evolving circumstances and feedback from your experiences. Expectations of others should also be realistic. Whether it's in relationships, work, or social situations, expecting people to always meet your standards or behave perfectly sets you up for disappointment. Accepting others as they are, with their own limitations and imperfections, fosters healthier relationships and reduces frustration. It also frees you to focus on what you can control, your own responses and actions. When setbacks or failures occur, realistic goal setting encourages resilience rather than despair. Understanding that progress is rarely linear helps you maintain perspective. Rather than interpreting obstacles as proof of inability, you see them as natural parts of growth. This mindset keeps you calm and positive, helping you bounce back and continue moving forward. Goal setting also benefits from flexibility and openness to change. Life circumstances, priorities, and interests evolve, and your goals should too. Being rigid can cause unnecessary stress, while flexibility allows you to adapt without self-judgment. Sometimes shifting your goals or changing direction is the wisest and healthiest choice, reflecting growth rather than failure. Celebrating progress is often overlooked, but vital for maintaining positivity. Recognizing and honoring your achievements, no matter how small, builds momentum and self-confidence. This positive reinforcement creates a feedback loop that encourages continued effort and a sense of accomplishment. Realistic goals enable you to have these victories more frequently, supporting your emotional well-being. Avoiding comparison is crucial when setting goals and expectations. Comparing yourself to others' achievements or timelines can distort your view and diminish your self-worth. Everyone's journey is unique, influenced by countless factors that are often invisible. Focusing on your own progress and growth nurtures a calm and positive mindset, free from the stress of external comparisons. Finally, setting realistic goals and expectations is an ongoing process. It requires regular reflection, adjustment, and self-compassion. As you learn more about yourself and life's rhythms, you become better equipped to set goals that inspire and challenge you without overwhelming you. This balance empowers you to move forward with steady confidence, calm, and positivity. The people and environments we surround ourselves with have a profound impact on our mindset, emotions, and overall well-being. Positive influences act as a powerful support system, reinforcing our calmness, resilience, and optimism. Conversely, negative or toxic influences can drain our energy, increase stress, and undermine our confidence. Choosing to surround yourself with positive influences is a conscious and crucial step toward staying calm and positive in life. One of the most obvious sources of positive influence is the company we keep, friends, family, colleagues, and mentors. Being around people who uplift you, believe in your potential, and encourage your growth can inspire and motivate you in countless ways. These relationships act as anchors during difficult times, offering encouragement, perspective, and emotional support that help you maintain balance. Positive influences also provide models of healthy coping and resilience. When you observe others handling stress or setbacks with grace and optimism, you learn new ways to approach your own challenges. Their attitudes and behaviors can become a source of inspiration and practical guidance. This modeling effect helps you adopt more constructive mindsets and habits that reinforce calmness and positivity. It's important to recognize that positive influence is a two-way street. While surrounding yourself with uplifting people benefits you, being a positive influence for others also strengthens your own mindset. Encouraging friends, offering support, and sharing positivity creates a cycle of goodwill and mutual empowerment. This reciprocal dynamic enhances your sense of connection and purpose. Physical environments also contribute to your mental state. Spaces that are clean, organized, and filled with natural light tend to promote calmness and clarity. On the other hand, cluttered or chaotic environments can increase feelings of stress and overwhelm. Taking time to create and maintain positive surroundings, whether at home, work, or elsewhere, helps you feel grounded and focused. In today's digital age, social media and online content are powerful influences on our thoughts and emotions. Curating your digital environment by following uplifting accounts, limiting exposure to negativity, and engaging with supportive communities can protect your mental health. Being intentional about your media consumption ensures that what you absorb online nourishes rather than depletes your positivity. Positive influences also come in the form of books, podcasts, music, and other media that inspire and educate. Consuming content that encourages personal growth, mindfulness, and optimism can reinforce your calm mindset. This kind of media serves as a daily reminder that positivity is possible and offers practical tools for maintaining it. It's equally important to set boundaries with negative influences. This might mean limiting time with people who are consistently critical, draining, or pessimistic. It could also mean stepping away from toxic work environments or social groups that foster drama or negativity. Setting these boundaries is an act of self-care, care that protects your peace and nurtures your growth. Learning to identify toxic influences is a key part of this process. Toxicity can be subtle, manifesting as passive, aggressive behavior, chronic complaining, or emotional manipulation. Becoming aware of these dynamics helps you make informed decisions about who and what you allow into your mental and emotional space. Awareness is the first step toward reclaiming your calm. In addition to external influences, cultivating positive self-influence is vital. The way you talk to yourself, the habits you build, and the goals you set all shape your inner environment. Surrounding yourself with positive internal dialogue and constructive habits reinforces the calm and positivity you seek externally. This internal positivity acts as a buffer against external stressors. Spending time in nature is another powerful positive influence. Natural settings, whether a park, forest, or beach, have been shown to reduce stress, improve mood, and increase feelings of well-being. Nature provides a peaceful, restorative environment that fosters mindfulness and gratitude. Regular exposure to the outdoors supports emotional balance and helps maintain a calm perspective. Finally, positive influences contribute to building a community of support and belonging. Humans are social beings, and feeling connected to others who share your values and aspirations enhances your emotional resilience. Being part of a positive community fosters a sense of security, encouragement, and shared purpose that strengthens your ability to stay calm and hopeful through life's ups and downs. In conclusion, staying calm and positive in life is not about avoiding difficulties or pretending everything is perfect. It's about developing the inner strength, awareness, and habits that allow us to face challenges with grace and hope. By nurturing our minds and hearts through practices like self-compassion, realistic goal setting, healthy coping, and surrounding ourselves with positive influences, we create a foundation that supports resilience and peace. Remember, this journey is ongoing. There will be times when you stumble or feel overwhelmed, and that is perfectly okay. What matters most is how you respond to those moments, with kindness toward yourself, patience for the process, and an openness to growth. Every step you take to cultivate calm and positivity strengthens your ability to live a fuller, more joyful life. So, let us commit today to embrace these principles, not as a temporary fix, but as a lifelong practice. By doing so, we not only improve our own well-being, but also become beacons of calm and positivity for those around us. Together, we can build a world where peace and hope shine even in the face of adversity. Thank you